All right, guys, I got the Porsche Taycan Turbo home so I could compare it with, my Porsche 911 GTS and really just go over the design of the Taycan and does it have the Porsche DNA? The quick answer is yes, but let's go over it. All right, guys, here it is, the Porsche Taycan Turbo. And as you can see, it has that classic Porsche roof line. They call it the fly line, where you have this sloping roof all the way down to the rear. It really makes the car have a really fast, aggressive look about it. And that is very much a Porsche 911 trait. And here is my 911 GTS for reference. And as you can see, it has that same sloping roof line down to the rear. And that unmistakably makes it look like a Porsche. But there's some other cues too. Like, for example, just how this C-pillar is shaped. It really tapers down really nicely, and they've picked up on that in the Taycan as well. Very classic shape. And of course, around back, we have the full width light bar, which is very much a trait of the 911. They've wonderfully modernized it. It's kind of this shallow slit that looks really mean and aggressive, but yet very modern and in keeping with the car. But look at the details. The Porsche logo within this light bar is three-dimensional under glass. And look at all of the circuit board kind of detailing in there. So it looks very mean and aggressive from a distance. Just above the light bar is a 3-stage spoiler that is automatically deployable depending on the speed that you're doing. But below that, see the aerodynamic diffusers finishing off the bottom part of the bumper here. As you pull back and look at the rear of the car, you see the great looking shoulder line, the nice haunches. So the greenhouse kind of tapers in the middle, giving the fenders a really broad shoulder look. Gives the car a really wonderful stance, which is very much a Porsche look. Love that. All right, so let's swing around to the front of the car. And as you can see, the hood just slopes away aggressively, but there are these two fender humps that are visible from within the car. That enables you to really place the edges of the car as you're steering and driving. But of course, those two humps are very reminiscent of, the Porsche 911, as you can see it here on my GTS. In the Taycan, it's based on the Mission E prototype car, which was just an incredibly beautiful thing. When I saw that Mission E prototype, I was like, wow, if Porsche can bring that car to the road, it would just be phenomenal. Just how low it sits, how wide it was, just the proportions of the Mission E were beautiful. It had the classic 911 swooping roofline, the wide hips, even the wide front end, the wide track was beautiful. But a lot was carried over to the Taycan. They did a really good job of bringing that into production. Maybe not as aggressively as the Mission E, which had suicide doors, for example. This has conventional doors, but some things definitely carry through, like the shape of these headlights. And this particular model has the upgraded Porsche LED matrix headlights that have a glacier blue insert for the daytime running lights. But there are these little elements here that are blue in color and looks really good lit up. So I'll show a lit up version. And of course, the side curtain here, which is this kind of venting that dropping down from the headlight here. What that does is it goes right through and allows air to come through this vent and exit out of the back and provide better aerodynamics as air flows from the front to the side across the wheel. And even behind the front tire, there's an open slit to allow air to flow down the side of the body. So there are aerodynamic benefits for this. It's not just for looks. And of course, there's venting and cooling for the battery to keep it all nice and cool down below here. I kind of like the Turbo. The Turbo has these little flicks right here. And I like the look of that, the body colored flicks there. I believe in the Turbo S, those could be spec'd in carbon fiber, which is black. And of course, you don't see them as much, but I think those flicks give the front of the Taycan Turbo a much more aggressive and interesting look down there. It's not just all black like a massive hole. So very good looking front fascia. And speaking of the Mission E, that brings us to these optional upgraded 21-inch Mission E design wheels, which are a $3,500 option, and they really add to the look of this car. I think they look fantastic. And the way these are colored with the lighter rim around them really goes very well with the Dolomite silver metallic paint that this particular Taycan Turbo has. I think these wheels are a must option for this car. They just look fantastic. Underneath of the wheels are the Porsche surface coated brakes. And that's something very unique. They're coated with tungsten carbide, which really minimizes any kind of brake dust, so your wheels will stay clean all of the time. And you can spot Porsche surface coated brakes by the white calipers. So let's take a look inside of the Taycan. Of course, this car has keyless entry, so as you approach the doors are normally flush, but as you reach towards them, the door handle pops out so that you can gain entry. So let's take a look inside of the Taycan. As you get into the Taycan, you're confronted with a thoroughly modern and well thought through interior. Obviously, the digital displays look fantastic and very modern. All right, so now I'm going to start it up. And here's how the normal dash looks. The dials are reminiscent of a Porsche, you know, with the round multiple circular dials here. There are 3 here, and the 911 there are 5. This is a 16.8-inch wide screen, and there's a lot of information that you could choose from here. Let's go through some of the options. So I'm going to start in the middle. In the middle, there are 4 main modes. Right now we're in the power meter mode, which shows you your miles per hour, and as you accelerate, you see the power go around this dial. You could change that though to a map mode, which has a small map that comes up in the middle, which is pretty useful. You still have your important information top and bottom, range and speed. But you can go to the big map, which is called the extended map mode, which obviously fills the whole screen, but you still have essential information top and bottom and what mode you're in. Back out of this, and then there is reduced mode, which blacks out the screen and only gives you key information like your speed and range and what mode you're in. So that's pretty cool. So let's go back to normal power meter mode, which brings back the 3 dials. And over on the left side, there's obviously choices that you can do there. Right now, it is set up for showing what the PDCC is doing, which is the Porsche Dynamic Chassis Control, how the anti-roll bars are activated based on your performance driving. But you can select other kinds of information, you know, G-force, traffic signs, you know, and whatnot. So let's go back to G-force here. On the right side, there are even more information that is available to you. Right now, it's set for your general vehicle information. You can see, you know, your charging information and whatnot. So a lot of information there is available to you, of course, should you want to use it. But on either side of this 16.8-inch screen, there are some touch buttons. So like on the far left, you see that there are your lights, your headlight control on the far left. And then on the far right, there are, you know, whether you want to turn on or off your traction control, you know, this is your various modes of whether you're in normal, sport, or sport plus, and it's being indicated there as I cycle through. Going back to sport, now we're in sport plus. This button on the dash only controls the air suspension, raising it or lowering it. It doesn't affect the throttle and other components. And as you can see here, you see the little car icon. That shows that the car is being lowered down because it's going into Sport Plus suspension mode. In the middle, of course, is your main Porsche communication management system. You know, your media, navigation, and whatnot all can be entered here. It's very responsive and looks really nice. Let's go back home. If you had, my phone is not hooked up, but any kind of radio stations and whatnot could be found here. You can even control your drive mode, chassis, whether you're in Sport or Sport Plus, height. Let's do regular for now since we're in the city. And here's another interesting thing to me is recuperation mode. It's covered up right now. There it is, recuperation mode. I've been driving around with it off. What does that mean? That means if you are driving and then let's say you lift off the gas pedal but you're not hitting the brakes yet, that means the car will actually coast. But if you turn regeneration on, obviously when you lift off the accelerator pedal, it starts to regenerate and you can feel the car starting to slow down a little bit. And that's because the engine is trying to recoup some energy, and the two electric motors are doing engine braking, recoup some energy that way. But I tend to leave it off, mainly because I like the natural feel that this car has with it off, because I like the ability for the car to coast and sail when I'm not pressing on the accelerator. Of course, electric sport sound is a fun option that comes with the performance package. I like to leave it on. You know, it automatically comes on when you're in Sport or Sport Plus mode. I like the sound. It makes the car sound futuristic, but you can turn it off and keep the car as quiet as can be. This car is also equipped with the passenger display too. So the passenger can also monitor navigation or control music. So you can even watch and monitor the speed of the car as the car is moving. So all of this is at the fingertips of the passenger. This is an option to include this for the passenger side. It's not standard, but it's a pretty cool thing to have. But also down here is this middle screen. And in this screen, it controls mainly here, there's some quick keys for your communication management system up top, you know, navigation, music, phone, and whatnot. There are also here in this middle area, of course, is your air conditioning, your climate control settings that you would want to have here, dual climate control on the front, as well as dual climate control on the back. And there's a separate touchscreen display in the back for rear seat passengers. And then there's an area here that's kind of like a trackpad. So it enables you to scroll around on the top screen here by using this touchpad here. It's like a trackpad. And then of course, when the power button to turn on and off the car is on the left, just like the key is in a normal Porsche. And then here on the right side are toggle switches to put it in drive, reverse, or put it back into park. So you're totally digital out here with modern stuff. This is like a sports steering wheel so that you can have your drive modes quickly go through your drive modes here. As you can see, the dashboard is changing as I'm cycling through the various modes. So yeah, that's your tour of the interior. And of course, I can't not mention this beautiful panoramic sunroof, which I really think adds a lot of light. It just brightens up this whole interior, and I like this big panoramic sunroof in this car. It's very nice. There are the back seats. This is the 2+1 back seats. As you can see, they're contoured to look and feel very sporting back there. You can get a third person in the middle, although I'm not sure if I would recommend it. But in this particular configuration, it is set up for you to do that. The base price on this is $150,000. As this one is spec'd, this one is at about $175,000. I've got the handy dandy sticker right here. This one has the Dolomite silver color, which looks beautiful. No extra cost on that. It has the leather interior in black, heated steering wheel, which is $280. Rear 2+1 seats in the back. Interior trim in aluminum rhombus for $1,450. Power folding exterior mirrors. Has the LED matrix design headlights with PDLS Plus technology. It's come with the glacier blue inserts for the daytime running light for $580. The 21-inch Mission E wheels, which I think make the car look fantastic, dope, especially with this Dolomite silver color. It all integrates beautifully. Also, if you get the white color with those white 21-inch Mission E wheels, that looks really good too. I love how it all integrates together. Really nice look. The price is $3,570 for those Mission E wheels. The passenger display for an $1,130 option. Advanced climate control, 4-way climate control. So that means even in the back, you can control the venting through a touchscreen panel, and that option is a $990 option. Performance package, which includes that Porsche electric sound that gives you that whooshing sound. Porsche Dynamic Chassis Control Sport. Also a part of the performance package is Rear Steering Plus, the Sport Chrono package. And all of that in the performance package comes up to $5,400. It would be an option I would tick for sure. This car also has the $4,340 premium package. And that includes the fixed panoramic roof and glass, the lane change assist, seat ventilation in the front, surround view, storage package plus in the back, thermal and noise insulated glass, and an ionizer. So that gives this car a grand total of $175,130. So it's an expensive puppy. Would you buy one? Leave your comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out if you subscribe and click like on these videos. Till next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Safe driving, everybody.